Hey YouTube, it's ICU and welcome to the 88th episode of Best Tech Info and Rumors. Now before I get into this episode, I just wanted to say that I'll talk about jailbreaking, the iOS 5.1 and 5.1.1 untethered jailbreak status, and I'll answer a couple of questions towards the end of this video. So first up, as I'm sure most of you are already aware, Ashton Kutcher is set to play Steve Jobs in an upcoming film, and TMZ posted pictures of Ashton Kutcher wearing Steve Jobs' renowned outfit. So it would appear as if Kutcher is taking on more than one aspect of Steve Jobs to better become the role. Next up, building on recent iCloud rumors, according to a report from the Wall Street Journal, Apple is set to introduce major upgrades to iCloud, and they'll presumably announce these upgrades during this year's WWDC next month. Now, according to the report, the primary feature of the upgrade will be a new photo sharing service, with more details on that listed on the post. Now, next up, 2 months ago in March, the Wall Street Journal reported that a lawsuit has actually been filed against Apple for false advertising claims for the iPhone 4S exclusive personal assistant Siri. Now, the individual who filed the lawsuit claims that Apple's marketing techniques are both deceptive and misleading when it comes to Siri. And more recently, Apple filed a motion to dismiss the case and provided a rebuttal to the plaintiff's claims and accusations. Now moving on to the next generation iPhone news for this week. According to two separate reports that cite credible sources, the next generation iPhone may in fact have a 4-inch screen. Now that's measuring it diagonally, and one of the reports, the one from the Wall Street Journal, claims that the screen on the next generation iPhone will be at least 4 inches, whereas the second report says that the screen will be 4 inches. So either way, if accurate, it looks like we could see a 4-inch display on the next generation iPhone. Next up, 2 days ago on the 16th, it was reported that Verizon CFO said that the carrier is scheduled to move all customers who are on existing unlimited data plans to shared data plans when they make the upgrade from 3G to LTE later this year. Now, just a day after that, on the 17th, Verizon actually provided a clarification report to the New York Times, basically saying that yes, that is true. However, there are two ways to circumvent the upcoming policy. Now, first, if customers decide not to upgrade and stay with their existing 3G device or 4G device if they're grandfathered in, then they'll be able to retain their unlimited data. Also, when a customer goes to upgrade and they decide to pay for the device in full, there won't be any changes made to the current plan. So while there are loopholes in Verizon's upcoming policy, most customers will lose their unlimited data plans due to a lack of awareness regarding their options or the inability to purchase an upgraded device at the unsubsidized price. Next up, last week on May 6th, it was reported that Apple filed a claim with the WIPO, or World Intellectual Property Organization, requesting to have the domain iPhone5.com turned over to the company. And until recently, iPhone5.com hosted a small forum and discussion board pertaining to Apple's next generation iPhone. However, now upon visiting the site, it simply displays a blank page with no errors. And this is likely due to the fact that the case has ceased and it's been resolved. Now, it's said that the domain is currently under the jurisdiction of a brand protection firm who is presumably operating on Apple's behalf. Now, while it's evident that Apple and Google dominate the mobile arena, a new report from a research firm found that there's a different giant in the home entertainment industry, Microsoft. Now, with the constant changes made to the Metro-styled Xbox 360 platform, it said that it's adapting faster than the competition. There's actually some really interesting information and statistics on the post down below. Now, finally, I just wanted to briefly talk about the iOS 5.1 and 5.1.1 untethered jailbreak status. However, before I get into that, I just wanted to go over a couple of things. First, I just wanted to make it abundantly clear that they will indeed release an untethered jailbreak, because there has been some speculation in the jailbreak community of whether or not they will actually release it. And the answer to that question is yes, they will. These things just take time, especially with how complicated the jailbreaks have become. Now, for the last untethered jailbreak, iOS 5.0.1, it took them just under 2 months to get an untethered jailbreak pushed out. Now, that's not the case this time around. It's been a little over 2 months since the release of 5.1, and we have yet to see an untethered jailbreak. Now, there are a couple of reasons for this. First of which, in the middle of development for the 5.1 untethered jailbreak, Apple released a new firmware. And the second reason is the new device that's been released since the last untethered jailbreak, the 3rd generation A5X powered iPad. Now, while an untethered jailbreak was demonstrated for it shortly after its release, there's still a lot that actually goes into it behind the scenes, even after it's already been jailbroken, into getting it ready for a public release. Now, with that said, also keep in mind that the developers are doing this for free and in their spare time, so that's definitely not the only thing they focus focus on, but they are getting it done as quickly as they can. Now, as far as Untethered Jailbreak news goes, Pod2G announced support for the iPhone 4S, the original iPad, and the iPad 2 on iOS 5.1.1, and he did mention that the iPhone 3GS and the iPod Touch 3rd generation will not be included. However, today they found a workaround and will be able to include those two devices in the jailbreak. And on the post that I have down below in the more info, I have a full compatibility list taken from Pod2G's site. So if you want to see if your device will be included in the upcoming Untethered Jailbreak, just be sure to check there. Alright, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please be sure to rate it up and hit that subscribe button to be notified every time I release new videos. And don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and add me to one of your circles inside of Google Plus to be updated more often. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.